All the shorties in the chat. All the shorties in the chat. How is everybody doing? Are we having fun? Who's going to be the first one in the room today? Is it going to be Fred? Is it going to be Cheryl? Is it going to be Jess? Is it going to be Barefoot Lynn? Is it going to be Neeks? Is it going to be Eugenia? One never knows which way the wind blows in Michael's chat room. Some days it's dusty tumbleweeds across the desert plain and a ghost town with a swinging, creaky saloon door. A town where footsteps and horse hoofbeats were heard as the norm. The bar's wide open, but nobody's having a drink. Hey, Dream! Dream is first in the room. How are you? I'm a Shawty. Welcome to a most unusual stream where we eat and we talk about everything. We have lots of these on my channel. I dress different. Hey, Black Pint, Sharon, how are you? Yeah, just a little bit of everything, Dream. Sharon's my bae. How are you, bae? It's always good to see you. Live from New York. I wish we could split screen and side by side. I'd love to be able to do that. Woke up in the Big Apple. And here I am. I woke up a few hours ago. Today's the last day before vacation. Vacation meaning 4 days off, not going anywhere. Just think, I could do my own movie, Home Alone. Yep, it's raining here too. The bad weather is right in time for the holiday. It's just the way it works, man. The way it works. And somebody tell me what skitty bitty toilet is. I see that. Hey, Pete, how are you? And how is the hunting going? I know it's hunting season pretty much everywhere. Like down here in Georgia, up north. My buddy in Montana was out looking for elk and deer the other day. Outside Kalispell area. Hey, doggy, how are you? We could talk about anything. Hello, Colette from New Zealand. One of the most beautiful countries of them all. Hard to believe you're all the way down in the South Pacific, and yet you've got every Oh, really, Pete? You're from New Zealand too. Wow. Well, Coletta's New Zealander as well. And open season year round. Wow. Hey, Harvey, how are you? Yes, Black Pine, isn't that the truth? I'm a hard worker. I don't have a social life here. I mean, I know a lot of people, but I stopped going downtown. It's boring. The music sucks. The people going in the place, a lot of the cool people that were there have gone. It's like there's a void in my life in Augusta. Then, you know what's sad? So many people drink, smoke weed, and when you don't do that, you're not part of anything. You know, and I am a Christian, and people say, well, join a Christian group. There isn't one. There isn't one. And even though I'm a Christian, when I'm in certain locations, I don't find other Christians and I drawn to each other. Sadly, I'm drawn more to people that are eclectic and lost souls, but different like myself. It's weird how that works. But, you know, sometimes God does that. He doesn't want us doing the holy huddle. Hey, Andra, how are you? I am good, thank you. Brenda wins. Wow, that's an interesting name. Yeah, we work. You got to have a reward for the work. New York's expensive, Sharon. I don't know how you make it up there. That is just crazy high. I've been working my way back to you, babe, with a burning of inside. She works hard for the money, so hard for the money. Sharon works hard for the money, so you better treat her right. Sharon, what do you do? Let's spotlight on you. What do you do for work? Can I ask? We should start doing something. Everybody's got their little YouTube thing. We got to start doing showcase your chatter. Man, it's air. Yeah. And you know why they did that? Because of that COVID crap. Glenorchy. What interesting names in New Zealand. Yeah, I don't know how you make it. So what do you do for work? Are you a model? Are you a starving artist? Do you work at Walmart? Welcome to Walmart. Now get your crap and get out of here. Right on. The roommate I had in here, Sharon, she's a special needs teacher for severe and profounds. She very good with the kids. Very good. I had met her when I was on the bus. Then I figured she'd be a good runner the way she was with the students. 15 months of the best roommate I've ever had in my life. Hey, that's cool, Tanner. Now that would be a fun job. I do warehouse. forklifts, pulling product, packing, cleaning up. Very hard work. Yesterday I had to, with another guy, foam pack 120-pound generators. Very heavy stuff. Yes, you do. Hello, Llama. How are you? Sharon, I can see you as being into art. It's a fit for you. Hello, still Derek. How are you? I've worked with special needs. I've driven special need buses, or what do you call them? Sped buses. I rode as a monitor for 2 years here. That was rewarding, and what I found was fascinating. Even kids who cannot communicate or have autism or whatever, they still want you to notice them. They're humans. They have feelings. And they tend to be nicer than the so-called normal kids who run their mouth and think they're cool and everybody else is retarded. I don't like the word retarded in conjunction with special needs. Retarded fits the other kids that think that they're cool. Now they're retarded. Special needs is not retarded. They have a setback through no fault of their own. And it speaks volumes about society when they treat them properly. Any one of us is 30 seconds from sheer disaster. That person you didn't see that plows through the red light could put you in a wheelchair for life. You could do something at work and never be able to use your upper body again. Don't take life for granted, people. Never. Be aware of what you're doing. Be a defensive driver. Take that extra look before you pull out in the intersection. Make sure some clown, oh, I'm late for work. I'm running that red. I can't believe. The other day I was at an intersection. The light changed to a solid red. Traffic started moving. The guy just decides to punch it and go. Like, wow, you really want to get in an accident and get that ticket and they get an insurance raise, don't you? Dumb. Bless you for that, Sharon. That means you have a heart. That's good. So do you teach for the New York school system? And do you live in one of the, well, you'd obviously, if you're in New York City, you live in one of the boroughs. Hey, thank you, Vicky from Alabama. Hugs are free. Still, Derek, that's good to hear. Anybody in the room a hunter? I'm not a hunter, but it's hunting season down here. We got turkey, possum, deer, raccoons. And I'm not eating no possum. Do you, Vicky? What do you use? Sharon, that's awesome. And thanks for coming to chat. I like seeing you. I've heard back straps. What is that? What is back? I've had venison sausage. Boy, was that good. That was really tasty. Minnesota's big into the hunting. It's It's a sign of manhood when you come with a deer strapped to the grill of your truck. And no, not the one you hit, the one you shot. Tenderloin, okay. Gotcha. I know some people get very controversial about this. Has anybody ever had lamb? Lamb is really good. Too gamey? We got alligator down here. I'm going to have to try it. Don't like lamb? Fair enough. Believe it or not, tomorrow's Thanksgiving and I don't do turkey. Makes me throw up. Maybe it's the tryptophan. Really, Colette. Fowler, I've never had it, but it's all over down here. Alligator on a stick. When I used to go to Llama Island when I lived in Hong Kong, I'd take my hikes on a Saturday, take the ferry over, and there was a lady that sold things on a stick. Thought it was chicken. Somebody told me, how do you know it wasn't cat? I said, they don't eat cat in Hong Kong. I've heard people say in small towns in America when an Asian family moved in, the cats and dogs started disappearing and they own the only Asian restaurant. I don't know, people were just making that up. Hey, Ruben, how are you? Where's all these people from New Zealand? Colette must have put out the word. No meat on Friday. Abstaining from meat. Wimpy and Popeye was classic. I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. Oh, it's just plastic. I wish it was turquoise. How are you, Miss Maisie? Yeah, I've never heard that either. Pete, I'm just eating granola. It's got cashews, oats, cocoa, pumpkin seeds, pepitas. Hello, plebeics. How are you? Oh, the night is my world. It is good, Miss Mazzy. Yeah, I'm off tomorrow, girl. I'm going to be playing dodgeball with rain and paint. It's supposed to rain Sunday. So I have a window to get some painting outside done. We'll have to see. I've never had goat, but I've heard that. What about goat cheese and goat milk? I heard goat milk is nasty. Cow milk is not good for us, by the way. It's for cows. Oh, that sucks, Plebix. Hospital staff, police, EMS services, they still got to go. House is gray, but I'm painting it. I'm adding more red to it. If it's bred properly and killed properly, it's not gamey. Have you guys heard years ago, somebody put this out there on YouTube and they were talking about politicians, celebrity preachers, and celebs are guilty. And what I'm going to talk about, if you're squeamish about certain things, you might not want to listen. But they say if you take the blood out of somebody who's been scared to death or in a highly charged emotional state of fear, it agitates or excites the blood in such a way that if you put the blood into your body, it's like a major energy boost. Have you guys heard of that? Hey, Vio, how are you? Yeah, cow milk, not good. Causes a lot of phlegm. Now, I eat cheese. I don't drink milk ever. That almond milk was pretty good. Adrenaline. Yeah, I heard that. Now, I can't verify it, but crazy. I didn't hear about that, Miss Mazzy. I don't know. There's a lot of theories and what I call conspiracy theories, but I wouldn't put it past the rich elite to be doing God knows what behind closed doors. My Sabbath, working, flea market, grocery shopping. That's about it. That is about it. Really, Colette, society failure. Nothing beats a good start to the day, Tibish. Um, they say breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I can't emphasize that enough. Younger people living on Takis, energy drinks. 40-something-year-old coworker came into work yesterday eating chips. I joke, breakfast of champions, huh? Yup. Then they wonder why they're sick. You really are what you eat. You really are. Vegan's not a bad thing. I just don't like the vegan cult. Hello, Bradley. No, I don't need to. My job is very physical, lifting and moving heavy stuff constantly. I mean, I don't run, I don't work out, I just work out. Ruben, and I'll agree with that. Sunday is that day for me. Go to church. Last Sunday, I did do some painting on a wall of the back room because I wanted to get it done, so I did it after church. Well, that's normal. Humbus, it's normal. Well, thank you for that, Rombus. No, I'm in blessed shape for my age. I like to be in shape. I have a metabolism that works in my favor. And who says that you can't be sexy at 59 and a man? There's no law against that. Society has hangups about things that I do, but oh well, society is a hangup and it needs to be hung up. And yes, I shave. I like clean and smooth on a woman. I like clean and smooth on me. That's right, Colette. You're not a monster doggy. You're just good at your craft. That's why we have you. When you tell the truth, when you be vulnerable like me, unfortunately, and this is not a slight to my mods, I have to have moderators because too many people in our society aren't genuine, aren't honest. They're just yucky. And they come on a channel like this and they're like, oh, we're going to have fun here. No, you're not. Not today. You can go play somewhere else. I think out of the box because society is always trying to put us in one. My mother didn't like it that I wasn't in her box. My family didn't like it because I wasn't in their box. Preachers don't like it because I'm not in their box. Democrats don't like me at all because I'm not a Democrat box. And the woke box, that goes in the burn barrel when I go to burn the trash. But I don't fit in the Republican box. I voted for Trump, and I vote Republican because that's pretty much what we're down to. But the Republican Party's got some old fuddy-duddies in there that are lining their wallets, and they've been 100% ineffective in stemming the tide of evil from the left. They need somebody like me on Capitol Hill. Can I have an amen? Because I wouldn't fit. I said, no, I'm not wearing all them clothing and stuff. I'm going to be who I am. I'm going to run. I'm going to represent my district and my values. And if people don't like it, deal with it. But the Republicans are weak. They're too soft. They're too You know, in the left, you got AOC, Rashida Tlaib, you got these ratchet women, Jasmine Crockett, and they're a problem. Why the Republicans don't have an aggressive, energetic, boldly outspoken guy in there? There's some things I agree about the libertarians, but they'll never get off the ground, Humbus, because we're stuck and mired in a two-party system. We are entrenched in it. And it's always 4 years of this, 4 years of that. And I do believe the Democrat Party needs to be dismantled. I know I contradict myself, right? They want to destroy the Constitution. They want to pack the Supreme Court, pack the House and the Senate, and they want to create a Democrat dystopia. I don't want that. I don't want that at all. Doggy, they never elect me. I'd never win. They'd dig into my past. They'd dig into stuff. They'd find people who have crap to say about me. Even though it's nothing burgers. Who wants to go through all that? The press has the power to make you rich and famous or to make you destitute and ashamed. I remember as a kid, oh, I want to be on the evening news. Now I'm more like, I want to own CNN. I'd fire every single person in there. Every one of my moderators would have a job at CNN. And it wouldn't be called CNN anymore. It'd be called PNN, the Pacific News Network, where you get real news. And we're not going to rival Fox. We're not going to rival anybody else. We're going to talk about good and bad. We're going to talk about things from the truth perspective. We're not going to play politically correct. Our journalists will have fun. They're not going to be reading a damn script. I'm going to say, if you got to read a teleprompter, you don't belong in here. Well, I agree with it because what's happening is people get across the border, have a kidlet. They did that in Hong Kong. When I was in Hong Kong, the Chinese would come down from mainland. And in the Hong Kong news, they said, from now on, when Chinese woman come cross border and she have pregnant belly, we turn back. True story. They said, if you're pregnant, they will not let you come in. Because they know what people are doing. They come across the border and they got a kid with a Hong Kong ID. Automatic. Yeah, but they were processed. They were naturalized, Colette. They're not illegals. I'm not against somebody marrying a foreign woman. I don't hate Mexicans, but I do and will say this. The Mexicans are not assimilating into our culture. They want the rich, not rich. They want the American money, but they don't want us. They want our roofing jobs, our landscaping jobs, our construction jobs. They want all that, but they don't want us. They laugh at us. They're laughing all the way to the frickin' bank. Do you know Trump? Is it Trump's first wife? Well, no. Is it Ivanka? She actually did some lesbian photography, which is actually beautiful. And I thought it was funny the Democrat press, this was a long time ago, the Democrats had a cow about that. I said, whoa, hold it, Democrats. I thought you were all about LGBT. But when Ivanka, I believe it was Ivanka, was nude up against another woman, oh, that was scandalous. I thought it was beautiful. This is where I get into trouble because I'm a Christian And I boldly say what the Bible states. I don't make it walk on all fours. But for me as a Christian man to say I like lesbian art, Christians and preachers go, well, I got a problem with that. I know you do. But I got a problem with you guys. You guys talk about holiness, and you're incapable of being perfectly holy all the time yourself. A lot of Christians in America are idolatrous as far as materialism goes. They want to talk about all their house and all their stuff and their SUVs and their bank accounts. And I've noticed something, and I can't personalize this, though I'd like to, because every new avenue of life I get into, a lot of Christian older people started businesses and paid chump change for their workers while they made goo gobs of money. Why are Christians doing the same thing the world's doing? Paying chump change for the people that move their company. A Christian should be generous. A Christian should set the standard very different than our cutthroat society. Back to erotic art. Christians sin just as much sexually as the world does, by the way. They struggle with porn. They struggle with masturbation and lust. They struggle with infidelity. And you know what? For me to just come out and say, well, I like erotic art. It's beautiful. Mike, you're supposed to be a Christian. I am, whether you think I am or not. It doesn't make something go away. And over the years, I just learned to say, you know what? I'm fighting something that's naturally within me. I don't have a desire to murder people. I don't have a desire to do drugs. I don't have a desire to steal or break and enter. But there's some art that I love. What is the problem? And what was it somebody said in the room the other day? We spend our life fighting something that God made us that way. God gave us men the biology to be attracted to other women. And women today don't want us, per se. So now we're single. Now we can't get a date because we're not worthy enough. And now we go to church on Sunday and we're condemned for lust. And the women will sit there and go, that's right, Pastor, beat up on those men. While they say nothing about the attitudes of today's women. I get satisfaction out of erotic art. When you live in a broken society, now I'm going to say this to everybody in the room, whether you agree or not, this is a foundational fact. If I can't get my needs met, we're going to find a surrogate. We're either going to go hook up with somebody, or we're going to look at fantasy world of porn. And you can say all you want, well, you're supposed to be crucified with Christ. Let me know when you've done it with your materialism. Let me know when you've done it when you stop chump changing your workers, but then you're a multi-millionaire with 120 acres and mansions and hunting property that you own and boats and motorhomes, and you're paying your people $10 an hour. No, I'm not talking about me and where I'm at, but I'm just talking people. They talk a lot of talky, but they don't walkie. And that's not just in the area. People will come on my channel. Yesterday, we had a clown in here haranguing on and on about, well, I don't think it's right. You get mad that people are judging you for your woman's clothing, but you're criticizing toilet bowl. I didn't promote hate. I just had a question. How can people make money? Why do people pay for that? Those same aren't going to pay for this. Maybe it's cheap entertainment. I don't know. So I just had a question. So you got people that want to tell me what I can think, what I can say. You call yourself, you shouldn't even be talking about God because you have sin in your life. Oh, okay. So because you said it, I can't talk about God anymore. Show me the verse in the Bible that says that one. And I challenge people, show me the verse that says I can't talk about the Lord because I'm not perfect. Show me that. Show me that word. What is it? First or second opinions? The Bible does say abstain from lust. There shouldn't be a hint of sexual immorality among you. But guess what? There's more than just a hint in most of us men. So what do we do with it? Sometimes the hardest part of being a Christian is when you go to church and you get around other Christians, they want to hand you a brick and say, here, eat this, it tastes good. Man, that's a brick. I can't eat it. Mike, but you need to. No, I don't. It grind my teeth off. And a lot of Christians don't come up with a promising answer of how to stop the struggle. They just say, oh, you got to just do it. You got to do it. You just got to do it. Okay, you don't have a sexual problem, but I see a lot of other problems in your life. Well, now, Mike, you can't judge me. Wait a minute. You're judging me. You're judging my sexual problem. I look at us men like a volcano. Okay, when you don't get your needs met, I think masturbation is releasing the venting the pressure that's building up. And I will say this, I think it's better to masturbate to a thought than it is to actually go out and physically do something. Because you're not forming a bond and breaking somebody's heart. Jesus was very clear. If a man looks at a woman with lust, he's already committed adultery. Well, guess what? We're done. You don't even have to touch yourself. You don't even have to masturbate. You just have to look with any lust. That's it. You committed adultery. So how the hell does anybody live up to that? They can't. And what Jesus did in the Sermon on the Mount is he's showing people you cannot follow the law. So we become a Christian and you got Christians saying, well, now you need to follow the law. Where does it say that? We're not under law. We're under grace. Well, you can't use your grace as a license to sin. Okay, you bragging about your SUV and your investment portfolios and come on, man. I don't want to hear it. You may not struggle with this, but you do struggle with that. How do you get holy? Tell me, how do you get holy? We're positionally made holy by faith in Christ. We have the righteousness of Christ applied to our life. But how do we as a Christian walk in a way that pleases God? It says abstain. How do you do that? Okay, stop looking at porn. I got news for you. I've done that. Before the internet, I wasn't looking at it. There's other ways to lust, though, and they will always be barking up your tree. You can't get rid of it all. Hey, Faith. Hey, Lawrence. Hey, Ann. Hey, Michelle. Lust is everywhere. And I lust. I do. I like looking at pictures of art. I just do. These are not rated R. This is just internet. If I can get that stupid screen. I think that's beautiful. People look at me, Mike, you're sick. No, I'm not. I like two women posing. And I like the woman's body. I've tried all the tricks. Well, that's good you don't lust. That's awesome. And it's hard. Some people, it's easy. Hey, B, I didn't even see you come in. How are you? I cannot fast, Lawrence. I believe I've talked about that in here. You are not able to see my energy level at work in a day. You are not able to see it. You are not able to see at the speed at which I work, at the energy I put forth. If I fast, my blood sugar will go shboom. and it will be detrimental to me. I cannot do it. I have a high metabolism and I believe in fasting, but I also believe you got to use your brain. My own, what is the word I'm looking for? My own biology will not allow it. There's other ways to fast. I could fast by turning the internet off for a week. That would be a struggle for me. I can't do it. I don't want to do that. I like to engage. We're all wired differently, and some people struggle in one department, maybe way more intense than somebody else is. And that somebody else will come up and say, well, you just need to do this and that. Really? And that works, huh? No, it doesn't. Well, thank you. I'd like to talk to B, but B, I just never hear from her. When is your Thanksgiving, Faith? I'm not fasting. Lawrence was saying that fasting and prayer, and Jesus talks about that. And I would never discourage somebody from doing it. But again, context is in order. For me to fast would cause a bit of a blood sugar crisis. I'm not diabetic. I read the story about how Moby Dick came about. And I got the book. Where is it? The story of the Essex. And I read it this last year. Where is it? I got it up here somewhere. Man, I don't even know where it is. But it's a story of a whaling ship that left Massachusetts, and some of the crew never made it back. They were on the opposite end of the world in the Pacific Ocean. And they talked about something. I've read a lot of survival stories, but this was disturbing. And they said the people that survived the open sea and not having food for months were not skinny guys like me. People that are bigger boned can survive on their body fat. Somebody like me wouldn't last. My metabolism is super high. My weakness would come immediately and I would waste away fast. People who have a slower metabolism and heavier set can draw on the reserves in cases of starvation. They had water. Every time it rained, they'd gather water. But I'm here to tell you, that's sobering stuff. Where is that book? Now that's crazy. I put it somewhere, and I don't know where it is. Where is the book? That I do not know. Strange. What happened to the book? That is weird. I don't know where it is. I know it's in here because I did not get rid of it. I just bought it, read it this year. Shoved somewhere amidst all my things. The story of the Essex. That is really weird. I have no idea where it went. I know it didn't just walk out of the room. It's got to be in between my Clive Cussler books. Right there. Man, I'm so stupid. It's right in front of me. This is a great book. You guys like to read. I would encourage you to read this. The Essex were what gave rise to Moby Dick. In 1819, the 238-ton Essex set sail from Nantucket on a routine voyage for Wales. 15 months later, the unthinkable happened. In the farthest reaches of the South Pacific, the Essex was rammed and sunk by an enraged sperm whale. His 20-man crew, fearing cannibals on the islands to the west, decided instead to sail their 3 tiny boats for the distant South American coast. They would eventually travel over 4,500 miles. The next 3 months tested just how far humans could go in their battle against the sea as, one by one, they succumbed to hunger, thirst, disease, and fear. What blows me away is the ones that survived came back and went back out to sea again. After they survived by eating each other. And that's a picture. That's a big sailing ship. Rammed by a sperm whale, 238 tons. Rammed by an enraged sperm whale, causing it to sink. That's cool stuff. Don't play with God's creatures, man. Don't play. And I'm going to say it again. If something works for you, just stop sinning, then do it. Maybe I'm just rebellious as all get out. I mean, I am. We all are. And people can play all those little grammatical games with me. Well, if you really wanted to stop, you would stop. Really? Is it that easy? Do I want to stop? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. When the urge comes up, no. When the urge isn't there, yeah. It's kind of how that works. And I like what somebody in the chat said, we're fighting something God gave us. Yeah, I know, right? The Bible automatically condemns all men as adulterers. It's already there. It's implied. You can never uncommit adultery. If you've been guilty of it, you're guilty. That never goes away. You're forgiven, but you'll never be somebody who never committed adultery. Now you just go for how many times did you commit adultery? Thousands? Oh my gosh, thousands for me, thousands and thousands of times. You got women putting themselves out there online. Am I committing adultery when they want me to look at their body? I mean, we could argue that whole thing, but Jesus said if you look at a woman to lust, boom, you're done. Bridge, oh my gosh, I didn't even see you, Bridge. Chanel was in here. You must have got my message on Discord. Bridge, I love you. I miss you. I miss you. Did you hear me? And when you're not here, man. Didn't even read my messages. I could be dying. I could be saying, Bridge, help me. I'm sinking beneath the waves. And by the time she reads the message, my corpse is floating over the deck of the Titanic. Can you imagine that? That cannonball in my closet. That thing's this big. I wonder if I dropped it dead center above the Titanic where it sank. I just dropped it. That's heavy. Unless the ocean's storming, I don't believe it would go off course. I believe it would rocket straight down. I wonder, with the rust on the Titanic, would that be strong enough to bust through the steel plating? If you dropped it from 2.5 miles up in water, water will create drag, but would it just land on it? Or would it punch through something? That'd be a trip. Who is Henry Rollins? Somebody dropped that name. Who is more dead now? What? Bridge, what are you doing in the hospital? I'm going to walk in that hospital room. I'm going to unplug every machine, say, Bridge, I'm here. She'll spring out of bed. Oh my gosh. Hospital staff, what is going on in there? I don't know. Who let this guy in here? I don't know, but she's come out of her bed and she's walking around just fine. Good chica. Come on, Bridge, we're going. We don't need to check out. We're done. Bye. Bye, peeps. Thanks for helping her. We're gone. We're done. You can clean up the room. Bye. The punk band, I'll have to look. Hello, Jim. Bridge, no. You better not die on me. You better not. How long were you in there? Lord, we pray for Bridge that you help her to recover from this and that you give her your peace. We pray that you keep your hand upon her, Lord, and heal her. We pray that she draw close to you during this time. Thank you for her friendship to us and to me. Please keep her safe in Jesus' name. Amen. Yeah, Bridge, we care about you, man. This is our community. And you were here way back in the beginning. Chanel was in here the other day. I said, have you heard from her? No, I haven't. I have not seen Irish Rose in ages. Haven't seen Jackie at all. That poor girl's got struggles down under. Jackie was a spitfire too. She was awesome. I don't like it when we see the good people leave. Got you, Bridge. You should have seen it. We've had some fun in the evenings. A trans wanted money for what? A sex change? Now, I'm going to go as far as to say, and I don't believe I'm hypocritical for saying this, Changing your physical anatomy because you're feeling the opposite of what you are is a bit extreme. And I do think that there's a mental illness factor going on. I have a feminine side. I like to wear feminine clothing, but I'm not going to get rid of my wiener to become a woman. I can't be a woman. I'm not a woman. I don't want to be a woman. I just like certain aspects of a woman. I like their clothing. Looks better on me than most of the guy stuff that guys make you wear. I'm not a suit and tie guy. I never will be. Women's clothing is cheaper. It's more comfortable. It feels erotic on me. This makes my nipples turned on, this material, whatever it is. And I'm different. Yes, I'm a Christian. Yes, I voted for Trump. Yes, I'm sick of the left. That will never change. But I've lived my life trying so hard to please everybody, dot my I's and cross my T's. And guess what? It's like trying to follow the law. You can't do it. That's why we need a savior. But then you get involved with other Christians and churches and they want to boss you around. Do you ever notice that? All the other Christians want to tell you what to do and how to live your life. They won't tell themselves what to do. They won't check themselves in their sins. They just want to put a magnifying glass on yours. I got a problem with that, and I'll tell you why. Because you need to focus on your BS, not mine. I've been told what to do all my life. Yeah, Lawrence, and it sucks. Hey, Mr. E-Rock, I didn't even see you sneak in. Zoning out over here again. Bridge, you've been a blessing. You've always been kind. Buttercup. Am I okay, Michelle? Yes, I'm okay. The women started that, and you know it, Mr. E-Rock. That was Cheryl said she doesn't like going in public pools because of butts and genitalia. I said, thanks, Cheryl. You ruined the pool for me. She goes, well, it's true. Then I said, well, now we're going to have the new cafe. We have chlamydia sauce, and we have pubic crabs and shrimp scampi butter, and we got dingleberry pie. Everybody was laughing. Dingleberry. I don't hate church, Michelle, but I will tell you this. There's a lot of old Southern crap down here that I don't go for. And I got offended a week ago. Well, I'll be danged. I hear rain on the roof. It has been dry as hell for months. My yard is all brown and now it's pouring. But I can hear it. It's raining. What do we got out here? There's a cold wind blowing, stars are out, and I really want to see you tonight. That's my Charlie Brown tree. All the leaves are gone. Oh, it's raining good. The trench from the downspout is all full. Let's go see what it's doing outside. Oh, the night is my world. Oh, yeah, it's raining good. I just hope it doesn't soak me when I go to work today. Oh, yeah, it's coming down like a... It's a rainy night in Georgia. All right. Water from the sky. I got this big old bell on the door. It works. That'd be fun to get some noisemakers really loud. Like when somebody breaks in, you hear these god-awful loud noises. It scares them so bad they go running back out. Wow, it is coming down over here. It's unusual to have a couple months with no rain. I mean, sprinkled dink here and there, but my yard's too early to be brown. No. Hi, B. B is in the house. Sorry, I'm gonna let my hair down. Sometimes the straps things gets old. My, that gave me, sorry, Colette. I didn't mean to scare you. I'm from your planet, doggy. Listen to the rhythm of the falling rain. Hey, B, how are you? Can you hear me? Oh, the night is my world. Bridge, I don't like it that you're in the hospital. This is why I wish I was rich. I'd drive all day and all night, I'd find you. Then I'd walk in, I'd get permission from the nurse station. You'd be laying there and you wouldn't even know it. And I'd start saying, you don't bring me flowers anymore, and I'd hand you a bouquet. And then we'd do it live right there. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Bridge. You're a damn spitfire, man. Power up your antibodies and get up off of that gurney and get out of there. That's why I'm not into gardening. Weeds are the bane of my existence, and it don't matter where you live, the weeds flourish, especially out west. I have crabgrass, and it does take over. Good thing about crabgrass, it is tough, and it will take over. Well, that's good, Bridge. I'm glad you have somebody who loves you and cares. We're your surrogate family. Hi, B. She said hi to me. Oh my gosh. Should I blush? Where's Eugenia? She's been coming in here and she's been blowing me off for 2 days. I don't know what Johnson grass is. I had a woman argue with me this last summer. It's centipede grass. I said, I've never heard it called that in my life. I asked some other southern locals. They said, no, that grass that grows and stretches and takes over and sends out runners is crabgrass. Goats are, they're natural lawnmowers. Mina doesn't come in here. She stopped. She blocked me. We never had a falling out. We were on Facebook and I couldn't message. I was shut down on my Facebook because Facebook and their communistic Nazi community standards, And they never tell you what you violated. You violated our community standards. Your Facebook's been shut down. I'm like, bye. I'm done fighting you clowns. Zuckerberg can go zuck himself. Seriously. I'm sick of Facebook. I'm sick of how rich he got off of that and all the censorship. And that little weasel shows up at the inauguration because he's running scared because he banned Trump. What a screwball. I wouldn't want nothing to do with the clown. But if I was president, I'd say, you know what I got against you, Zuckerberg? Is you don't follow American justice with your Facebook. You just say that somebody violated the standards and shut them down. You don't tell them what it was. You don't give them a chance to argue. You don't, this is what I hate about social media. They don't follow rules. LE. What is this? Di ako pinapasak kanina di ko nakita Benaga Palasked. She's working too hard. That's what she said. No, Mina, as I got to know Mina, she was very nice to me when she thought she could get to the country. I had to tell her over and over, I cannot bring you here. I'm not going to bring you here. It is a process. Hey, Jeffrey, how are you? I can't even remember the words. It's been that long. Really, Ellis? You didn't get in trouble, did you? Hello, Vendetta. And I'm sorry, Ellie. I love you, Ellie. Whether you love me or not, I love you. We did live. I did a short with her. Mina was funny. And even if I was able to bring her here, I wouldn't. You know, the beauty of talking to people is you see things. Mina's Hindu. Mina lives as a 40-something-year-old woman, never worked in her life. That's a problem. She gonna come over here and think she can sit on her butt in the house and I gotta pay for everything and she does nothing? No. I ain't rich enough to have some woman just lay on a couch all day and go, I'm here for you, honey. You know, you get involved with me, you're going to be a draft horse like I am. You're going to carry your weight. And if you're going to stay at home, that's cool. But I'd better have a piping hot supper when I get off of my job. Got to give up the head for that green card. You're funny. Zach, if I can afford it, if a woman has needs beyond the paycheck, then no, she's going to have to get a job. And I say needs in quotes. I believe if I'm supposed to be with a woman and she stays home, God will give me the money to take care of her. I believe that. Or the little goes a long way. Mina was not for me. She was cute. She was vivacious. I liked her energy on her videos. But she had a temper. One day I pulled up at work. I had like 15 minutes before punching. I called her real quick and she answered video call on the Facebook Messenger. She just started going off. I said, "What is your problem? You not watch my videos?" I said, "What do you mean not watch?" I said, "I like all your shorts." "No, I told you I need hours." I said, "I don't have hours to watch your videos." I said, "You fall asleep. You sit there and you go, 'Hi, everybody. Hi.' You don't talk about anything. And you run it for 6 hours and you go to bed and the light's off and I can hear you breathing. What is the point?" "Well, I need to get watch hours." I said, "You're not going to get them. Even if I was to watch every one, you need a lot of watch hours." I said, "You got to have content." And I tried to help her. I tried to be constructive. And I said, "You know what? You're sitting here talking rude to me. I'm going to work. Goodbye." And on my break, I wrote her and said, "No woman is going to talk to me the way you just talked to me. I have never done anything to you. You better back that bus up or I will drop and block you so fast your head will spin." I said, "I've never been rude to you, never been ungentleman to you. That is not okay." She did apologize. Then a week later, my Facebook crashed, and I think she thought I blocked her, so she blocked. Well, I unsubscribed, and I'm like, I don't even want to see her stuff anymore. We're adults. And I did not have a crush on Mina. I did not. I thought she was cute. But I've been through this. I dated women overseas. And I flirt with everybody in the room. I think Ellie's hot. I think B's cute. But they're far. And I know that realistically, I can't have a relationship with any of them. I like Neeks. But again, I've been through this. I bought the t-shirt, the plane tickets, and temporary time living in Hong Kong. Dating overseas doesn't work. We could date online, but it's not the same as having somebody in the flesh. I want a woman I can hug, kiss, and take her shirt off. Not stare at a cam all day. Man, it's coming down out there and you're pouring off the roof. She is bossy, B. She had a temper, and I know a lot of Filipinos like that. Beth was like that. She got mad at every damn thing. I remember when I first lived in Hong Kong, we shared a flat with several people. There was Leo, the Filipino. There was Frank from Australia. There was a lady who lived in the one room, and then her mom passed away, and she had to go all of a sudden. That was sad. I'm in the shower and I have one of those plastic accordion doors, and it's right at the end of a narrow kitchen. The toilet is in the shower. I'm in there, and Beth grabbed that magnetic thing and ripped the door open when I'm showering. It made me jump. I said, "I'm in here." She stopped and stared. "Why you wash like that?" I said, "What do you mean?" I was rubbing the soap on the washcloth, and I said, "Man, what is your problem? I wash myself, and you don't like the way I wash myself." She fussed about my shoes when it was pouring rain. We woke up on a Sunday. It was coming down like a monsoon, like typhoon rain. "Why you not wear your new shoes you buy in Mongkok last night?" I said, "Did you look out the window?" "Yeah, it rained." I said, "They're brand new shoes. They get wet. They're going to mold." She looked me in the eye and said, "Husband job's supposed to be to please the wife." I said, "Husband job is not to please the wife. You're supposed to love her as Christ loved the church. You are getting on my nerves. And you don't tell me when and what time I wear my new shoes and it's raining. You want to buy me new shoes after they get ruined. Okay, I'll wear them. Crazy. Mina was in her 40s. Beth was 6 years older than me in Hong Kong. And I'm going to be honest, not all Filipinos are this way, but a lot of them have a temper. They just get mad right now about dumb, stupid, petty stuff. I don't got time for that. A tan-skinned white boy. I admitted yesterday to myself out loud, yeah, I'm a little jaded. You get older. You don't fall for the BS as easy. You get smarter when you get older. You get a little hardened. That happens. It's part of the aging process. I think Filipinas are some of the prettiest ladies in the world. That tan skin, that long black hair, their bodies are gorgeous. Hard-headed and hot-tempered. Yes, crazy cat lady. Jaded and wiser. Yes, Bridge, I agree with you. I have been to the Philippines twice. I've been to Iloilo, Antique, Miagao, Oton. I have been to Valenzuela City in Manila. Rode the jeepneys, loved the jeepneys, been on tricycles, rode the LRT in Manila. I thought B was your bae. Doggy, how many Filipinos have I met? Lots. I knew a lot in Hong Kong through Beth, but I'm not in touch with any of them anymore. The last one I was in touch with was Mouse, and she's a story worth mentioning. She was all into me, and I left, came back to the US. She fell in love with a guy from New Hampshire. He was on disability. He didn't make enough money to sponsor her. So his mother helped sponsor her to get there. Mouse moved to the States and gained a huge amount of weight. Then she divorced him, but 2 years later, after she had the gall to call me in Colorado and say, Mike, can you sponsor us? I said, no. Why? You're my friend. I said, Mouse, you and I were into each other when I was there. And you want me to pay to sponsor you and your husband from the US? I said, absolutely not. That's his job. She divorced him. All of a sudden has all this money. Went all over the US taking pictures everywhere. Vegas, the Grand Canyon, Statue of Liberty, everywhere. Times Square, New Year's Day. Now she's over there in Europe. I have a friend who lives in Vermont, and he His wife is Filipina. She's a good woman. She is a good woman, and she's shocked. These Filipinos come to the U.S., all of a sudden they have money. All of a sudden they go right back to their Philippine community. And Mouse is spending money like there's no tomorrow. And I'm like, where is she getting all this money? She got a job at a company that does interior home decorating design. Like they'll build a bookcase to look like a canoe, overpriced, crippy crap. And I can't help but think she must be making money somehow on the side, illegitimately. The lady who made this for me, my friend in Denver, she's a Filipina. And boy, when I met her, she had stories and tales to tell me. And then she admitted they weren't true. She never had money. She filed Chapter 13. She'd have me pick her up and take her to the mall. And she'd go to Victoria's Secret and buy bra and panty. I said, Mia, how many bra and panty do you need? She never went out with me. But yet she wanted me to give her back rubs. She'd take her shirt off and I'd massage her. And she'd started dating a guy that we worked with who was not a bus driver but in maintenance. He had had sex with most of the female bus drivers in that room. I said, he gets around. No, he doesn't. I said, talk to Yvette, talk to Jolene, talk to all the women in the break room. They've all had their turn with him. And he's married to the lady who was the bus aide on my bus back in the 90s. They're still married. Oh my gosh. She would not listen to reason. She filed bankruptcy. Then she moved to New York. Then all of a sudden she had money to go to the Philippines for a month and to go to Denver and to go here and to go. Where is she getting all this money? She wasn't rich. She had no bank accounts. And I noticed something. Corruption, something. I don't know. I would meet Ellie. She's a Christian. Ellie's got some fire in her that I like. I don't know if she's in love with me. Yeah, Bridge, that's what I'm wondering. I thought she must be prostituting herself out or something. I had feelings for her because the house and the family I caretook Colorado, the lady said, do you know anybody that can just come in here dust? Because I know you don't like to do all that. I said, there's too much to do on the property. I can do it. But you're talking about taking every item off the shelves, everything. I said, I know somebody. And I told her about Mia. She loved Mia. Mia come in there and dust. She did good work. Mia was a different girl. She moved from New York to Denver. This is a true story. Let me go back a little bit. Let me tell a story. You guys aren't going to believe this crap, but it's the truth. So I was married in 1997 to a miserable marriage. I got a job at Denver schools, drove a bus. In the space of 2 years of working there was a Hispanic woman named Veronica Lopez. Veronica was in a lesbian relationship with a woman that looked man. And she was telling me about Mira and all the problems she was having with her. When we got done with our morning routes, a group of us would walk across the street to the cemetery and take our walks through there. And when I was married, we had Veronica over. Veronica said something that really set my wife off. Oh my gosh. She said, so nice to meet you. Wow, when I pictured you, I pictured you different. My wife was so offended. She didn't say anything. She goes, "What's she mean by that?" I said, "I don't know. I have no idea." But she told me later, she goes, "Mike, I look at your energy and I look at the way you are, and I'm just kind of like, what are you doing with her?" I said, "I've been asking that every day, Veronica." I didn't have the hots for Veronica. I come back to Denver schools in 2012, the opposite terminal on the other side of town, because now I'm living in the west suburbs. So I went to Hilltop, closer, a 12-minute ride to work. And I saw this woman, I thought she was Vietnamese. She started talking and making eyes at me, found out she was a Filipina, and I took to her right away. And she said, "Yeah, my half sister. I have a half sister, and I live with her." And the time went by, and my half sister know you. I said, "She does?" "Yeah, her name's Veronica." I said, "Veronica?" She goes, "Yeah, she drove a bus years ago." I said, "Veronica, Veronica, what? Really? Do you have a picture?" I said, "Yes, I know her. When I was married, my wife and I had her over downtown where I lived." "That's your half sister?" So Christmas break came. Mia said, "Veronica want to know if you can jack up her Cadillac and take the tire off because she doesn't have a jack." I said, "Yeah, I can do that. And she wants us to all go to lunch. She wants to talk to you." I said, "All right." She had a Cadillac that was so low, my jack, I couldn't get it under there. I said, "You're going to have to get a wrecker. You're literally, your frame is almost down to the street. I can't get a jack under there." And I had a regular truck jack. Um, I didn't have them little scissors jack. I had the one with the handle that you put in and use in the shop. There was nothing I could get under. I said, "Veronica, if I go under this, it'll punch right through that frame." But we all went to lunch. Mia went into the bathroom, and Veronica started to tell me, "So you lived in Hong Kong and you dated a Filipino. How was it?" I said, "It was a disaster." And I gave her some bullet points. "My gosh, yeah, Mia the same way." I said, "What?" "She get angry. She always want money. She doesn't pay her share of the rent. And she always, I bought her this really nice mug and she throw it. She didn't break the mug, but she broke something of mine. And she have a temper, Mike." I said, "Yeah, I saw that with Beth. She just exploded." Mia would come out and hang out with me at work in between routes constantly. Before Christmas break was up, I called Mia. She didn't answer the phone, and I get a text message. "Mike, I'm sorry, I can't talk to you anymore. She not really my half sister, she my lover." I called Veronica. "Veronica, is this true?" "Yeah, Mike. She's my lover and I'm sick of it. She flirt with you." I said, "Veronica, I had no idea. She never told me that. I thought you were with Mira." "No, Mike, that ended years ago, but no. She like you and she flirt with you and it really makes me mad." I said, "No problem. I won't bother her no more." A year went by. She texted my phone, "Can you come and get me?" I said, "You out of your mind?" "No, Mike, we know more. I need to find a place to move and she's gone. You come, you know where I live. You come, meet me on this street." So we started hanging out. I had feelings for her, and she and her were having problems. And Veronica said, "I'm moving out." Then she wanted me to move in. I said, "I can't, Mia." I said, "I'm taking care of this property. I can't move in there." And I helped her move and all that. Then she went after Tim. I was really caught up in this. And when she went after Tim and all that, I finally said, "No more." And we kept in touch on Facebook even after I moved here for a bit. But she supposedly got converted to Christianity after I moved out here. And all of a sudden, people were coming from Denver and spending money on her. And she was going to the Philippines and going to Denver and going here, there, and everywhere. I said, I don't understand where all this money's coming from. She works at a gift store. She moved to Phoenix and she was working at Sky Harbor in the airport gift store. Now, you don't make good money working at the airport. And I'm sorry to say that. There's a reputation. A lot of Filipinos come here. They don't love you. They want to get here. They get all this money. They use people. Mia did it. Beth did it. And I've heard story after story of men who married Filipinos had their hearts broken. Yeah, when I get her here, she changed, Mike. I said, because that's what they wanted. They didn't want you. They used you to get the green card. It's terrible. So in the back of my mind with most Filipinos is, what is their motive? You have to spend time getting to know them long enough where you can see through it. But that's with any woman or any man. Freedom. Yeah, I had a hots for Mia, and that was disappointing. Now I'm all the way here. Haven't dated in almost 8 years. I flirt online. Yeah, Zach. Unfortunately, a lot of Filipinos don't like the poverty or they want to get out and they use a man as an escape hatch. And they'll say anything the man wants to hear. Shoot, you go over there, they'll even take their clothes off for you. Even though they're not into you, they'll prostitute themselves out in exchange for hoping you will bring them to the US. And when they get over here and they find out how everything works, they will leave him and then bring the relatives over. No, Ellie, and you've never done that. That's why I like you. You've never done that. You're different. You're very independent, and I like that. I don't want a moocher. I want to help a woman because my heart is that way. But a moocher, no. And Ellie, I know that. I know where you're at because I've heard you say it. Mina, is Mina in here? You talking to Mina, doggy? Where's Mina? When did she come in here? I don't even see Mina in here. Because people all around the world want to come here, Ellie. They think it's the land of opportunity and they can, there is a standard of living here that's higher than other places. If I had enough money, I've often said in the past I would leave. But now I'm more, if I had enough money, I'd still have a house here. And I go visit a place. That way, if things get crappy over there, I can always come home. But up and leave and move to the Philippines or Thailand? No. If I was a millionaire, I'd come out to the Philippines. If Ellie let me, I'd meet her. It'd be interesting. But, I don't like all the hot weather. And it never ends there. Georgia, at least now we're in the cooler weather. God, you, it was like you were having a conversation with Mina, doggy. I'd probably like Sweden. I'd have to get used to the cold again. Yeah, and that's what I love the ocean, Colette. You know, the Philippines is nice, but what I've learned in life is anything gets old after a while. I like the freedom of taking a drive. In the Philippines, you got to ride jeepneys and transit and all that, and it's fun. But after a while, they get old. 3 hours to go 30 miles. 3 hours. That's too much. You're kind of stuck to the village. Well, it's hot here, Ellie. I have to say, Georgia summers are worse than Manila. I was in Manila in the summer and it was easier to deal with than this. It's very, very, very wet and hot here. When I was in the Philippines, I didn't sweat as much there as I do here. Yeah, the Filipinos are nice people. I got along well with Filipino men because they're very muscular and hardworking, but they were very chill. They didn't have this macho complex like a lot of American men do, and I liked that. Ellie, I like you. I don't look down on you at all. I never have. I've got a soft spot for the Philippines, and I always will, and I've got a soft spot for you. Yeah, I believe I said Filipino men. Time to fix some breakfast. It's going to be a hard ass day today because they got to get all these dang orders filled today. This is 4-day weekend and everybody wants to buy all their stuff and have it go out on today's freight. Crazy. The stresses of working. Ellie, come work with me. You'll work your butt off, girl. Lifting heavy, heavy stuff that's heavier than you. I was picking up generators yesterday that weigh more than you, Ellie. You're probably 90 pounds. These things were 120 pounds. Crazy. I could pick Ellie up and put her on my back. And I'm not big, Ellie, but I could put you on my back and carry you so easily. I'm small, but I'm very, very much strong for my size. That's why we don't have Kevins and Karens. Nope, Karens only exist in America. Sadly, maybe Canada, maybe Australia. But oh yeah, we got some Karens, all right. And I don't like them at all, and they don't like me. And they have a look, unmistakable Karen look. Really? So what does that translate to in pounds, Colette? Oh, Colette, if you saw what I did at work all day, it would not be allowed in a lot of places. No, no, no. Oh, the night is my world. City lights. Yeah, Ellie, get a Discord so I can talk to you. And you never did send me your YouTube so I could see your videos. You were going to upload your videos. Yeah, but what's 25 kilograms? I don't know what that is. Ellie, you better not be fighting with your fists. You're a lady. Come on now. But it's true. She's right. I never got in a fight when I was there because I have nothing to fight about. I respected the culture in the Philippines and I didn't act like an idiot. 55 pounds? Thank you. Ellie, I can tell you're a fighter. You have a tiger in you. I'll make the tiger melt. Ellie! Oh, Ellie goes straight for the face. Makulit. Ellie, how come you didn't send me your YouTube? You got to get on one of my shorts and leave a comment so I can go to your channel. Please. I told B that. B still hasn't done it. I don't go for the hair. Ellie, you don't need to be fighting. Come on. You don't need to do that, nah. You're a lady, nah. You're supposed to be sweet. I know one thing, you don't want to play with a Filipino. They will kick your butt. Because they're quiet, then they're reserved. But if they need to, they'll show you the door. Because I go into my subscriptions and I cannot find you in there. You don't need a brawl. Man, Ellie, if you were with me, you'd be bored because I'd teach you how not to fight no more. You and I could do debate. We could talk about Islam and we could talk about why Christianity's better. No, wrong, Ellie. It's float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Muhammad Ali. Manny Pacquiao is one of my favorites. You don't need to fight, La. I like you, Ellie. And I'll be honest, I would love to make love with you. I'd love to meet you, but I'm just being a flirt, but it's true. You're beautiful to me. What am I doing? I grabbed the packets. My mind is so off today. I need to figure out what I'm doing here. I put the water on the stove and I grab the instant packets. Dirt, dirt, dirt. Don't worry, Ellie, you won't have to fight me. I don't do that. I don't believe in roughing up women. Sasakyan kita sa lahat ng gusto mo. Sasakyan kita, marinig ako. Gusto mo na kiss, bilang kita. Gusto mo na sasakyan kita, sayang. That's funny. Where did Colette go? Really, baby ghost? I don't even know what you look like. I was just thinking of you yesterday. I was like, I was busy working, but sometimes things come through my mind like chat. And I was like, where's Baby Ghosty? That's such a cute name. I like the name Baby Ghosty. I used to say that. When I was a kid, I'd scare my cousin. I'd say, watch out for the ghosties. He'd like squeal and run and hide. I always said ghosty. Look, it's a ghosty. So it brings back a childhood memory. Memories Ellie never says thank you when I tell her she's beautiful. You notice that? Never. She never says, thank you to me. I compliment her. She never say anything. Why, Ellie? I compliment you. I mean it from the heart. You are beautiful, Ellie, and I'm telling you that. Trust me. You're attractive. And you do, I disagree with you. I've seen some of the clothing you wear and some of your videos. If you thought you were paying it, you wouldn't do the videos. You wouldn't put yourself on there. You are pretty. And every Filipina says that. I'm not beautiful. Every single one. But the proof is by what you do. A woman who believes she's ugly is not going to get on video. They're not going to wear cute little half shirts if they think they're ugly. They're just not going to do it. Then that I know for a fact. You're not paying it, Ellie. Not to me. I've told you that many times. I think you're a pretty woman. You're beautiful. Yeah, I know you do, but if you thought you were ugly, you wouldn't wear a half shirt and put yourself out there. You'd be too self-conscious. If you thought you weren't attractive, you wouldn't do that. Because the performance cheapens the idea. Zach, I never thought about that. Never told you. Wow. Well, sometimes when you're in a marriage, people take things for granted. I was riding the bus in Duluth one day and there was a guy named Tex. I like Tex. He was the DTA driver and he said, Mike, did you see that documentary on Sweden last night? I said, no. So they were talking about how in Sweden they're stoic. And I'm like, oh, isn't that funny? I think Minnesota's that way. And he was telling me that husband and wife had been married 50 years. And the man never said, I love you. Never once. And they asked, how do you feel about that? And she goes, we don't need to tell each other. I'm like, really? Yeah, Bridge, I think she's gorgeous. I said the other day, I was naughty in the room. I said, I'd love to see Ellie with her shirt off. She's cute. She's got a pretty face. Got a nice body. Well, you're not average. Did you see what Bridge said, Ellie? She said you're smoking hot. I second that. And I'm going to be very honest. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it right now. And if people want to get mad at me, you know, a lot of men are into women with big chests. Sometimes I am. But most of the time, a woman who's more flatter chested or small breasted, I don't know what it is, but that turns me on. I like women that look more like Ellie. Ellie is hot to me. B's attractive. She's got a bigger chest. Ellie would be my number one choice. if we were near. Did you hear that, Ellie? Now she want to go to America. No, you come to Augusta and I'll do you right. I get to know you, you be my wife, okay? Then you can make videos and have fun. I just don't want to go through immigration and all that again, because I tried to do that with Beth and God protected me. But yes, if I get done with my stuff, I would go visit Ellie. I would go and see her. Yeah, but B, you're a good-looking gal. I've seen your, when I did used to see your video, and I don't know how to get to your channel for some reason. I believe I subbed to you, and I can't find it in the subs. You're an attractive woman, and everybody has their preference. B-Knocker's demon. My chest is rather large. Cheryl says hers is too. I think there's all different kinds of beauty. The diversity of beauty is amazing. Ellie, get on Discord so I can message you, because I can't. I have no way to communicate with you. Yaking Ellie Kainis. Socket sa like God. B, what are you saying? Malaki lang sakan utong. Oh, Ellie, I know what utong is. That's my favorite part on a woman. Wow. Yours, Ellie. Grabe. I know grabe. They used to say that in Hong Kong. Grabe. And yes, B, you're Utong too. I'm sure very nice. You ever see that video, B? Makulit? That'd be me. But yes, Ellie's hot. B's hot. But I would definitely date Ellie in a minute. Yep, Utong and Suso. I learned those words fast over there. Bengang dede te. What does that mean, Ellie? Get on Discord, baby ghosty. My Discord is 77 Titanic 77. The number 77 Titanic 77. Send me a request telling me it's you. Gusto mo sa sakit? See, you guys are all talking, and I don't all know all Tagalog, so I don't know everything you're saying. Yes, we on fire. Well, come on, you got all these pretty women in the room. What do you expect? A bunch of single, able... Look, I'm 59 years old and I ain't dead yet. Right, Bridge? Discord. Discord is an app. You have to download it. It's a gamer thing, but we use it for chatting only. You don't have to accept anybody you don't want. You can message back and forth privately. It's better than Yahoo Chat. You get a Discord, you make an account, it's free. And then you send me a friend request, 77 Titanic 77. Bridge, you crack me up. Yes, I love nipples. I cannot lie. I don't know what it is. Flat-chested women, small-chested women are hot to me. Some women with big chests are hot too. Ellie's good looking. Ellie is attractive. My first choice out of all that I met in here, Ellie. If I could have any woman right now, it'd be Ellie. Did you hear that, Ellie? Did you hear me? Whole sense is awesome. Bridge has a way of saying things unlike any other. She has said things that go through my mind even when I'm at my job. Just buy me a cheeseburger and call me pretty. Trash panda. I mean, Ellie, I said out of all the women I've met on here through this channel, you would be first choice. If I could date or have, you'd be first choice. You move me in looks. You are a Christian. And even though sometimes I tell you to calm down, you have that tiger personality. For some reason, that's hot to me. I don't know why. Your fight mentality is kind of sexy. Yes, now she's all shocked. Yeah, but doggy Filipinos know English very well. Oh, it's just old-fashioned oats. Baby ghosty with honey and butter. I'm not hitting on Bridge because she's got a boyfriend, but Bridge has got a nice physique. She's a good-looking woman. Ellie, you write it good. Yeah, we have lots of language in the U.S. too. 4-letter words. Yeah, some people speak many different language here, especially when they get angry. I remember the first time I went to the Philippines, I was riding with Uncle Tito, and this big lumber truck pulled out right in front of them. I mean, just cut them off. And I'm in the back seat of the vehicle. I said, wow, look at that. And Tito just go like, he honked at the guy. And the guy driving the truck goes like this. I said, wow, they do that here too? He laughed. He said, unfortunately, brother, it's a universal language, the middle finger. In the Philippines. Ay, naku! Ellie, you crack me up. Ellie, what kind of lover are you? Do you fight in the bed too? Or are you sweet? Tagalog mixes English with Spanish. I've seen that too. They'll say half a sentence in English, or they'll say it all in Tagalog and put English words in it. The days of the year, or the days of the week, the months of the year, and the numbers are all Spanish. And I believe they say Feliz Cumpleaños, which is happy birthday. I know you're not a virgin, Ellie, and that's okay. Nobody's perfect. I ride in the bed. Wow, Ellie, you make me aroused. Ellie is my new favorite. I like her face picture with that hair hanging down right here. That's just hot. Ellie, you animal, you. You're an animal. Call Ellie my love tiger. Inglés y español, sí. Yo comprendo muy poquito en español, solo 2 años en la escuela, Doggy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 y 100. That's good, Ellie, because you're young, but yet you have some things in your favor because you have some experience. She's very fierce. She's a Filipina version of Bridge. And she's single, nah. The only bad thing is I'm much older than her. I'm 39 years older than her. That would eventually work against her because I'm going to age and she'll still look young and I'll look old and she'll be embarrassed. Wow. So you were broken in at 14, Ellie. You mucklet woman, you. Mr. E-Rock. But you know what? I got to give her praise. Ellie has calmed down. She gets along good with the group. And I'm glad to see that. Well, Zach is a term. I'm going to be honest. Sometimes the church goes on and on about a virgin, and that's important. But a lot of us aren't virgins. And unfortunately, because I've been around the block, I appreciate that Ellie has had an experience because I wouldn't know how to act around a virgin. Never had sex, never had any of that. It'd be very awkward. They wouldn't be a passionate, sweet lover because they just wouldn't. I mean, again, I've been through some sin in my life. I don't want to be around a prude girl. Wow, Ellie, that's called robbing the cradle. 30-year-old cannot date a 14-year-old in America. He would go straight to jail if he had sex with a 14-year-old. Not saying it isn't done. There's people that do it on the down low and never get caught. Yeah, it's statutory rape, it's pedophilia. I mean, it's all kinds of things. So shoot, Ellie, you wouldn't mind dating me because now you're an adult and you're legal, and I've been through enough experience. And with me, you'd have a house. You wouldn't be living in a trailer out in the middle of the jungle somewhere. You feel comfortable with an interview? Well, what do you mean by that? On soft white underbelly, what are you talking about? I'm not familiar with that. Did Colette leave us? Oh, I've never heard of that, Bridge. Zach, it's just part of my persona. Shoot, last night I came up with dingleberry pie and all the ladies thought that was a hoot. Cheryl started it when she talked about the pool being a petri dish. Jeez. You missed it last night, Bridge. You would have been laughing your butt off in here. You like it, Ellie? That's good. So how come you don't think you're beautiful? Yes, we're adults, Ellie. You can be yourself. You can let your hair down with us. Is that on YouTube, doggy? See, I don't go to the other forums. I'm happy with this. I don't diversify. I don't do Instagram or any of that other stuff. I don't want to. No, I appreciate the fact Ellie's a fighter as long as she didn't fight me. The problem sometimes with fighters is they fight everybody. Everybody. I mean, she came at me pretty hard in the beginning on my clothing. Now she's mellowed out. She accepts me, and that's cool. She knows I'm not Bakla. Look at the way I'm talking about her. She's probably blushing on the other side. Shadonai Makulit. I love that song. That song cracks me up. You ever hear that, Ellie? That song Makulit? DJ Alvarez? That's funny. Yeah, there's too many people in the room, Ellie. I can't tell you what I would do to you if I met you the first time. I'd lay you down on a bed of roses. I never start the fight. I always finish it, though. You ever get in a fight with your boyfriend, Bridge? Okay, since you want to bring it up, I would lick her from head to toe. I'd lay her arms back and I would kiss and lick her from head to toe. She moves me that much. Ellie's hot. Poor guy doesn't stand a chance. Now, he knew what he was getting into when he went after you. Ellie, did you hear what I said? Welcome to Porn Chat. Michael needs a girlfriend, but not just any. It has to be Ellie, or it must look like, sound like, walk like, talk like Ellie. Oh gosh, that's gross. What's this? My boss, when I was working at transportation, and it was the hurricane came through. He came down to the pumps one day, and we were guy talk. He started talking about licking a girl in the butthole. I said, that's gross. Oh, my. I said, no, that's gross, dude. If you really love a woman, you'll lick. I said, I will eat a woman, but I'm not putting my tongue in her butt. Okay? That's a no. Is it just me, or do blacks have a whole different level of sexual excitement than I do? Because I'm not putting my tongue in a girl's butt. Mr. E-Rock. Ellie, did you hear what I said? She didn't answer me. Ellie, dingleberries is a term we came up for in the U.S. when you wipe your bottom with toilet paper after you poop. A little piece of toilet paper gets stuck on the hairs on the butt, and they form little dingleberries, and it's disgusting. Some people use wet wipes. Asians are very clean. Well, Filipinos are clean. Ellie, I know that. That's why I would lick you from head to toe. I wouldn't have to worry about smells and funk. The women in here going, man, Mike is a pig. He's an absolute. No, I'm a full-blooded, red-blooded American male. I appreciate a woman. I appreciate a woman who's clean and smooth. So if any of you trolls out there think I'm gay because I wear a woman's shirt, you got your head up your butt. I won't lick no dude. No thanks. Doggy, what in the world are you talking about? You know, wash Zach? I don't even want to know. How come you don't go after B, doggy? B hangs out with you like a barnacle on the side of a ship. I would have thought you and her have a thing going by now. Ellie still won't give me her channel. B, I gave up. But I do want to see Ellie. I want to look at her. I want to stare at her and fantasize over her. Because I can't have her. No, I don't. Some people give gifts. Bridge is one of them. Money or otherwise. I work for a living. They'll pay the toilet seat channel and that other emo girl and her husband channel. We're not saying that word anymore. Somebody else can say it. Warehouse. Yes, but I can't find it, Ellie. You don't understand. I can't go into YouTube and search. It's not going to show it. Leave a comment on one of my short videos. It's me, Ellie. I can click your ID. Do it so that when I go on break time, I can look at your videos. I will block anyone that says it. Uh-oh, don't say it. Yeah, that started a whole fracas yesterday, Bridge. Guy Visionary Dream or something came in trying to tear at me because, well, you criticize the toilet channel, but you wear women's clothes. I said, dude, I don't hate the toilet guy. I just said I don't understand why people pay money for that, but they won't pay for my channel has content. We're being silly today. We're being human today. But most of the time I'm talking about controversy, faith, sexual, whatever. Thank you, Bridge. Thank you for that. I wish Ellie would get on Discord so I could talk to her. The live videos on YouTube, he has a toilet seat over his head. Sometimes with frosting, a school bus, a Hot Wheel track, what looks like poop on it. He's got a beard and he's all yelling at everybody. Very strange. It's funny in a way, but it's like, this is his shtick. And people pay. Yeah, it's gross. Hey, Danny, how are you? Doggy, you getting into it again? Where's your friend Fish Slapper or Fish Finder? You and him had me laughing the other day. Now, that was a while ago now, but that was funny. Then you got the triangle guy in the shower running, saying he's God, and going, jump, jump, jump. He believes he's God. He said it. I left a comment. He said, you are forever cursed. Michael Nelson is forever cursed because Shower Triangle says, don't think so. Oh, that'll be nice, Danny. I'm off tomorrow and Friday, so today's the last day. Yeah, it's all brain rot. I agree. Mental trash. Our forefathers fought and died in wars for this as in time. Yes. I should write Toilet Guy and say, on Memorial Day, please put a flag on your toilet seat in honor of our troops to give you the freedom to digress. Sir, yes, sir. User, that was freaking awesome. Thank you. I'm going to get off of this so I can go lust after her before I go to work. Oh, that sucks, huh, Blake? What do you do again? I do. I think Ellie's hot. And you know, there's people that make a lot of wrong statements. You shouldn't lust. I shouldn't, but I do. I don't have a girlfriend. And I'm sorry, the biology did. Well, I'm a Christian now. The sex drive just disappeared. I don't know why people, all of a sudden, I got to fight something that's always been natural in me and put it to death. How do you do that? How do you do that? And I've lived long enough as a Christian to know men 30 years ago that were complaining about lust and trying to get control of it. Guess what? Newsflash, they still haven't. Nobody does. And guess what? Another news flash. Did you hear what, what's her name? She was just in here. She said her husband's never told her she's beautiful in 13 years. All right, B, you have a good one. Love you. Yeah, Mystery Rock, I'll call you. I'll try to call you tonight. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to go to the store after work. I might run a couple errands tonight. I don't know how much is closed tomorrow. Got to get a can of paint. Medical stuff. Oh, that's awesome. You get 2.5 times pay. Well, at least that's the reward you get. Ellie, thank you for coming in. And thank you, everybody. Bridge, so good to see you. I hope you get better. I will be on tomorrow, some point, probably several points. But if you feel lonely or you want something to do, come on in chat and get involved. We love you. I always love having you. Ghosty, good to see you. And thank you for letting me be honest, that I'm not crucified for it. I can just let my hair down, what's left of it. Love you guys too. All right, everybody. Take care. Till next time, be safe.